Call the meeting to order. Mr. Dinger, would you lead us to the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Next on our agenda is to approve the agenda.
Move.
Motion by Weiss. Second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This time we'll open the meeting up for any public comments. Anyone wish to address the commission this morning on any topic that is not on the agenda? Senator Perry.
Good morning, how are you?
Good.
Good.
You?
I am good. I bring tidings of great news, and that's a good thing. And that is, SB 121D did get passed, and the prime for the House was Northrup, the prime for the Senate was me. The conference committee for the Senate included Otten, who is the chairman of the appropriations for the Senate, and Lapka, the vice chair for appropriations, and Mike Roll, and those are all from this, Lapka and Roll are from this area. And for the House it was Northrup, and then also Derby, who's the chairman of the appropriations, and Jorgensen, who is out West River. But everything went through as planned, and I think the magic number was $8,212,497. And Brock Greenfield, the Commissioner of School and Public Lands, worked really hard on this also. So a lot of people worked really hard, and we were able to make some good accomplishments. So I just thought I'd make sure that you knew all about that. If you had any questions, I could answer them, okay?
Thank you for your efforts and the whole legislature for taking it up on veto day.
The House ended up voting 61 to 3. There were 3 no votes, and there were 5 absent. And then for the Senate, 5 were absent, and 2 voted no, and then 28 voted yes. So it was overwhelmingly supported.
Yep.
And so hopefully we get busy building that. And I think the completion date is 2028, so sooner they get started, the sooner it gets done.
Was it the same contractor that, because the bidding was all with you guys then too, right?
The answer is the original winner, the original number 1 is not the one that they went with. The one they went with was the Journey, I think is what it's called, from down in Sioux Falls area.
Was there talks about the 24-hour-a-day thing that they weren't going to let them do?
The answer is they're looking at a 24/7 operation.
Good.
And I'm not into the engineering of it, nor am I in the legal part of it. So if you ask me any questions that have to do with engineer or legal, I'm going to defer that to other people.
Well, you did pretty good on answering what I wanted to know.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Senator. Anyone else wish to address the commission this morning? Online, on the phone? Hearing none, we'll move on. Second reading, possible adoption of ordinance 322, a rezone for Donna Keith.
Ordinance 322, an ordinance amending Title 4, Second Revision, Brown County Ordinance as amended, to rezone certain described property filed by petitioner Donna Keith to go from Agricultural Preservation District to Lakefront Residential District.
All right, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 322? See none, I would entertain a motion to approve.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, Dirk Rogers, Highway Superintendent. He's got a right-of-way for NBC and a couple other items. Morning, Dirk.
Howdy. First thing would be this right-of-way, which I think you guys, I did bring the original. I guess I have it with me.
Okay.
Good Lord. It's for NBC, and all they're doing is they're boring underneath Brown County 16, just north of 21, and then the other one that they're going under there is actually just a township road going to the east. The Brown County road only goes to the west from that intersection. But it's Northern Valley, they do a good job usually, and they're gonna bore our road, so I would recommend it for approval.
Move. Motion by Denner, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
One thing from the township meeting, we had maybe you want to mention to them, they had one of the township supervisors saying that the contractors at some point down there ran over some culverts and bent them up and never said anything or did anything. Ran their machine over them, bent them up.
Which was, was it Northern Valley's projects, or are they just saying in general?
It was a Northern Valley project.
Okay.
Yep.
The,
It was down by Warner area.
you are touching on a topic that I've often asked the question myself. I go, well, what do the townships do? Because we've even had stuff where like, well, it was actually Road 21 where 5 miles of the county road, no problem, 4 miles of township, and then the hook up on the county road again, and the 5 miles in the middle. I've always wondered, I don't know if the laws,
Do they need to get a permit from them, or they just
well,
go ahead
that's what
and
I'm
do it,
saying.
or what?
And there's, I've heard arguments both ways. I know when we were building the beef plant, we had quite a go-road, thank you.
Because we don't permit the township.
No, absolutely not. They're their own entity, obviously, and we don't even have the authority to do it, really. At least the highway department does. I don't know about you guys in
Unless
some
it's a
crazy
bridge,
world,
unless
but...
it's a bridge or something.
Right, so, that's always something I've wondered is, and, in some townships, I'm just trying to be realistic here, some townships, it's probably a moot point. You get up in northwest part of the county where you've got, a lot less things to impact, but around Aberdeen and Warner and, I run into that a lot, not that it's ever caused a direct problem for us, but I often wondered about that, and then I'm not, smart as lawyers and stuff, to figure out the absolute difference between, there's quite a difference between the legal standing of the county's right-of-way versus the township right-of-way. So, I'll certainly let them know that, but
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
just-
question I've asked, Warner Township is one. But I don't even know if they chose to have a mechanism, if it's...
What authority would they have?
Exactly, and we were in a situation with the beef plant where we ended up, not only did we get permission from the township supervisors, because they're acknowledging, they have their legal standing over that chunk of right-of-way, which isn't really a right-of-way, it's an easement.
Mm-hmm.
And then to be more comfortable, the lenders wanted us to go to each individual landowner. Well, good Lord, can you imagine trying to do that if not everybody was at least a little bit on the same page?
Sure.
And we did that, and I already talked way longer about this than we need to, but I think that's actually a topic, I don't know how big of a solution you need there,
Other than
but...
just tell NBC, hey, let the contractors know not to
Well,
run
yeah,
over the
well,
culvert.
that's, and you can do that,
Well, to clarify that we don't have the authority to permit it, or the responsibility to permit it, sounds to me like it's something that the Towns and Townships Association should pursue to see just exactly what standing they do or don't have,
Yep.
and can and can't exercise, and if they need to adjust that or try and modify that, they can work on trying to do that.
I know this isn't the only place that this
Right.
is a bit of a topic. Maybe if I'd gone to that meeting last night, we could have talked about it. But yes, you're absolutely right. If nothing else, it should be delineated in a way that, because right now, to me, it's,
And it's not that we wouldn't support them in that, because we
Oh, no.
absolutely would, because we don't want any of these
No.
waterways being unnecessarily obstructed.
right. So, anyway, but yes.
That might be a
that's-
good legislative issue for the future, figure out exactly what recourse townships and counties have.
Yep. I'm pretty comfortable with the counties, and then you also end up with the franchise, them huge franchise agreements that they renew every 10 years that are sort of they bring a whole bunch of stuff in the fold in those. So that, I think the township, or the counties are probably okay, it's just when no one's gonna jog over and put an extra 3 miles of line in so they can stay on the county road when you can just cut across the section lines. Boy, I bet we're way behind, I better go now. Okay, so what else do I have on there? Oh, we need to set the bid date for the cold in-place job. That's at Brown County 16 from Bath going south down the Moxie Creek Bridge. It's the last 6 miles of the project we programmed in 2002, so we're finally gonna get it put together.
Right on schedule.
Yeah, looking good.
Move.
So I don't know, when, I can't remember, what are we doing, the 28th?
Yep.
Okay, we have a motion by Weiss, second by Dennert. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Gonna put a shoulder on it?
Yep.
Bike path?
Probably not a bike path, although it's easier getting money for bike paths than bridges right now, but, other thing is a couple of department update stuff. Our day-to-day things aren't changing too much right now, other than we're keeping our eyes to the skies and haven't put the plows away yet, but, yeah, plowing with load limits on is just, oh my God.
We've
I hate
had
it.
spring
I know,
4 times
I know,
now this year.
I know. The gates are closed again too, as far as that goes. The river came up enough to equalize, so we got them closed at 84 inches down, they're closed on both sides.
Well, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but I was at the Crow Creek Watershed District meeting yesterday too, and that was one of many topics that was brought up. They don't have any control on the front end or the back end, so no, you don't.
Nope. Sorry about the 1918 court order, but, then we're crack sealing. We're hauling a little P-rock, getting ready for putting the tops on the cold and hot in-place job, so we're hauling some P-rock into the stockpile site down there on our unposted county road. I'm doing some signing, the blades are running around, and then a couple other things. Tomorrow, today's Tuesday, tomorrow we're having a pre-con for the Sand Lake project, so we should get a timeline tomorrow.
When and where is that?
What's that?
When and where is that?
Let me think here, that's gonna be at the no, that's at Clark Engineering at 9 o'clock. Yeah, excuse me, I made 9 o'clock.
I might drop in.
Okay. And then Thursday, be a real go rope, we're meeting with the DOT with some new ideas on the Elm Bridge up there. And that's at the DOT at 10 o'clock, I think. Thursday.
Very good.
And I have no idea what that's gonna entail, 'cause we're so far outside the box with those guys on this now that I'm kinda proud of the DOT for getting this wide open on trying to come up with a solution. They're usually not that open-minded ideas, so hopefully we'll get somewhere.
Sure.
And they have been, despite I'm generally critical, but they have, this isn't, I know to some people it looks like, oh, hell with it, we're done, that costs too much. That has not been the case. They've come up with some pretty outlandish ideas, but I think we'll get to a solution that we can afford. The other thing is, the county's only obligated at this time for 5.4% of the match, so that's another reason why we haven't gone to a nuclear option to do it ourselves, is because this is a very, very small contribution we have to make fiscally, so.
Right.
Just gotta get them to agree.
Yeah.
So far as the funding opportunities
Yes.
continue to evolve.
Exactly. And honestly, this funding mechanism is from the first Trump presidency. That's how long it's been sitting around. And all the other bridges that were put in this bundle, there was 4 or 5 of them, are all done and open again. So this was kind of a hanging out there.
Okay.
All right.
Once again, that DOT meeting Thursday, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll text you if I'm not right there, but
Thank you.
I think it's at 10. So,
Very good.
that's it, unless there's something else you guys have.
That's all I can pick up. Thanks for the update.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm gonna hang around and listen to a couple of these other topics.
Sure. All right, next up, approve and authorize chairman to sign the following lottery permits. First, Therapeutic Riding on July 31st.
Move. Second.
Motion by Denner, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Spurs Therapeutic Riding Center on September 19th.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Last, Spurs Therapeutic Riding Center drawing on December 15th or when all the tickets are sold.
Move. Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next, we're gonna surplus 2015 Chevy Traverse from the Equalization Office.
Moved. Second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Dennis. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next, we're gonna discuss the Game Fish and Park agreements. Turn it over to the Game Fish and Parks Department. Good morning.
Well, hopefully it's, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hopefully it's an agreement, and, I'm not sure how much you guys really know about this, but, you guys own 20 acres northeast of here. Of course, I didn't write down the,
390 and...
well, you know, okay.
126.
You guys
Yeah,
are,
that's the-
you know quite a bit.
We know now.
Well, we did. That was a surprise.
Is that you even own it, or?
Yeah.
That nobody knew.
Came as a surprise, yep.
Okay, well,
Now we know.
it's one of those areas I drive by and it's like, oh, that's kind of a cool area, you know, and then you look on, Onyx and it's like, oh, the city owns 40 acres and you guys own 20 acres, and,
Did we ever figure out how we acquired it?
Yeah, it was purchased.
Purchased in 53.
1953?
The state bought the 40 and then they turned it over to the city in 1990.
oh, so the email is correct then?
Yeah.
Okay.
We went back and
The
pulled
back
the
pages show the
deeds on it.
dates of
Sure.
when we acquired it.
So no, we appreciate that.
Anyway, so I contacted the city, we have a meeting with the city tomorrow, but they're, obviously, you know, Willow Dam, the city owns that, and it's in agreement with the Game and Fish, let people hunt it, and we manage it. And so, I contacted them about putting the 40 acres in the walking area program, because again, it's, there's ducks and deer and
Mhm.
pheasants in that area, so
Habitat,
it's
it's
like...
habitat.
Yeah, absolutely, so, yes, the agreement hasn't been signed, but it sounds like they're more than likely gonna put it in the walking area program, so then I contact you guys about putting your 20 acres into the walking area program, which you guys would not be liable if anybody got hurt or anything like that on it. The state had the liability just like any other walking area. And, you know, between the 40 and the 20, it'd be 60 acres, pretty good chunk there, a lot of good hunting in there.
Sure.
And, so I thought I would contact the, county about putting it in. And then all the rest of this was brought up about the gravel pits and borrowing pit and things like
Mhm.
that. So now I'm curious how deep they are, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Because-
I hope you find deep water in there, let me put it that way.
We do too. We do too. Because we're always looking for more urban fisheries or
Yeah.
places close to a big town to stock fish.
Sure.
So, and we've been stocking Wiley, obviously, you guys all know that for many, many years. We've increased our stockings, but Wiley's kinda getting a little low as far as water goes. And the swimming hasn't been that good out there either because of the low water and stuff like that. So, we're always looking for good places. We've had some summer and winter kill out at Wiley as well, so, you know, if we could find a deep hole here or there, and there's a lot of them out there, probably, so we would like to also look at a possibility of seeing how deep they are and maybe throwing some fish in there, which I would come back and, if we find deep enough water. Different topic, but I thought I'd bring it up because now I'm interested because it was borrowing pits and things like that.
Yeah,
so.
hopefully it's pretty deep.
Yeah,
I wonder if it might be.
I do as well.
Yeah,
You know, 8 feet would probably be the lowest that we would stock fish in it,
sure.
and then if it's deeper than that, obviously, they're gonna get a better chance of surviving.
Don't forget to
so.
sign in.
Oh, yeah.
On my way out.
But today I was just, thought I would, because there's a meeting, obviously, see if you guys would be interested in putting in the walking area program. So, we would pay you, you know, it's $10 an acre so we give you 200, the Game and Fish would give you $200 a year, if you want to get paid for it, or you could just put it in let the public use it. Either way, it doesn't matter, as long as you have an agreement with us, you wouldn't be responsible for anybody that got hurt out there. So,
I'll move to do it without payment.
Okay,
Second.
well, we have a motion and a second to agree to the walking area for this 20 acres without payment to the county. The one question I had is, because of its proximity, since the county would still own it, would it be eligible to possibly use as wetland mitigation area?
I'm not sure what you're asking me there. Cause you're gonna own it, so you
Yep.
guys do what you want with it. All we have is the hunting rights.
That'd be a federal question, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask Derek.
I don't think it's gonna be possible, because it's already been in existence for over 50 years, so it's not like you're adding something to mitigate something else.
Okay.
Has the county used it in the last 50 years for anything at all? I mean, most of you didn't even know you had it, I think.
Right.
No, it was-
Well,
Was it the county that pulled the gravel, or tried to pull gravel out of it at that time, or?
That was before my
We
time.
can only assume.
Yeah.
Where'd Dirk go?
Yeah.
He was?
No, that was my only question, is that something we can pursue
Yeah,
on
that's
our own?
nothing.
So-
Yeah, whatever you guys wanna still
Yep.
do with it is fine.
Yep.
We're just gonna do a year-by-year contract, and, you know, we'll just send you it, and you guys can just do your business after this every year to
Mhm.
sign it or whatever, but,
Well, a couple of us have talked about it, but there's been no decision by any stretch of the imagination, but just kicking around the idea, because at least the 20 appears to have been pretty well excavated to the extent that you're going to. Because, you know, with a very minimal perimeter around that 20 acres for the 20, considering possibly just gifting that 20 acres to Game Fish and Parks, if your folks have some appetite for that. That's not a decision we're prepared to make at this point.
yeah, I
But-
mean, obviously, we'd have to send that up to Chain as
We'd
well,
be
in
interested,
the Game and Fish.
I, at least as one, would be interested to see what their response to that would be.
Okay. And any
Not-
Game
not
and
to
Fish land
jeopardize-
that...
Not to jeopardize this request,
No,
sorry to
it
interrupt you,
wouldn't.
but.
No, it wouldn't jeopardize this at all. You know, if we do pay taxes for the land that we own, the Game and Fish owns, so if you guys did gift it to us, we would pay taxes on it. So, that's one of the biggest questions that always gets asked with any
Mhm.
government agency is, oh, now, we're gonna lose a tax base. No, you're not.
It's not there already.
So,
Right.
Exactly, you'd actually increase it, but, yeah. So,
Well, just the thought that would simplify things going forward is that Game Fish and Parks owns it, so then you can do whatever you want to do with it.
If it's deep enough for a fishery, that would be really nice.
Mhm.
You're still able to use it as a fishery with the lease, correct?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Figure it out. Do you have any reasonable resource to figure out how deep that is?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, we could put a boat in there too.
We got two ways
I
to
might,
get there.
I might be there this afternoon in a kayak.
Now that you know you guys own it.
Well, not that that matters, but might be a little windy.
You better hurry, you'll be out there.
If you can put fish in there, I'm hoping they go in there as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I'm gonna see if I can find the gravel pit records first, 'cause that'll tell you how deep it is.
That would be nice.
So was it the county that was digging out there?
Yeah, yep. No, I remember when they were, my thing was, I thought we'd traded that back to the city when they did when they sold the railroad right away that went up there, and then they put the water line in it. I thought part of that whole thing, that property went too, but.
I see School and Public Land has that.
The
On
railroad-
Onyx.
Railroad.
Railroad, yeah.
Yep.
Interesting little area. And we're gonna contact the people to the north there, that looks like a borrowing area there too. We're gonna
Mhm.
contact them about putting that in a walking
Sure.
area too. I mean, just
Yep.
good hunting
You're
area.
saying north of the city?
North of the city
The
property
city
there,
part.
yeah. Because that's a 40-acre chunk that looks like it's been
Yeah, there was,
used as well.
I mean, I can think of 7 or 8 different gravel pits that were up there, you know, Behringer's and Stukey's.
Yeah, another 2, 3, 4 miles farther north
Yeah,
of there, there's
they're all
a handful
through
of them
there.
right in there.
So, there might be a lot of them.
Trail, couple
But
fishing
that's an
spots.
excellent use of the pre-regulatory ones where we, you know, they just sort of left the
Mhm.
scar out there, and
Yeah.
so it's a good way to, after so many years, it's almost perfect for this
Yeah.
application.
Right.
Well, you said several of those others just north of there don't have deep open pits like that. They were just excavated and got piles and.
Yep.
don't really
Yeah,
have-
the preferred method, path of least resistance, they just cherry pick where the good gravel was instead of starting on
Move the
one
cover
end and do the whole thing.
Yeah, this little 20 was pretty well just excavated out.
Yep.
So I got the contract here. You guys just wanna, you don't have to sign it now, I can come back and get it from the auditor later, but that would be the Game and Fish contract there. You guys
Yeah.
have any other questions?
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Do you want me to contact you guys again if the Game and Fish is interested in
Yeah.
taking that
Yeah.
over, or
Yeah.
how do you wanna go about?
Yeah, you can visit with Ross or
Okay.
let the chairman know, either one, to, you know, if they say, oh, we don't want it, or, yeah, we'd be interested, you know, then we can give it serious consideration of possibly doing that if it's, you know, if we think it's in the best interest.
Hopefully we can find out how deep it is in the
Yeah.
meantime there, so,
Mhm.
yeah.
So.
If we put fish in it, it's gonna be advertised, I mean, people are gonna know. you
Sure.
know, So, which is good, no different than Wiley, when we stock it, it goes on there, and we try to let people know.
And
so.
if that makes sense, it's just
Yeah.
easier for you to make that kind of investment if it's your own, I would think.
Yeah, That'd be good for everybody.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I need to talk to you, Dirk, quick. Thank you, guys.
All right,
Thank you, thanks for
you.
bringing that to our attention.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on, consent calendar, Lynn.
Approval of the general meeting minutes of March 24th.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Denner, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Claims.
Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
HR report.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Lease agreements.
Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Dennert. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Travel request.
Second. Motion by Weiss, second by Dinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Set hearing date and authorize advertising for temporary alcohol permit for Spurs.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Any other business come before the Brown County Commission this morning? A little bit more information on what Senator Perry discussed regarding the Richmond Dam appropriation. After it was successful, I reached out to Commissioner Greenfield and asked if he and anyone else that he felt maybe could provide additional information, if they would be available next Tuesday to come, kind of give the general public an update on when the proposed or the potential start date would be, and a few other facts that they may be able to divulge, and he agreed that he would. So at this point, we'll have that on the agenda for next Tuesday, so that people can hear straight from Commissioner Greenfield and any other people that are involved in that project. Will give us an update and a timeline, a potential timeline, so well, that'll be on the agenda next Tuesday. Any other business come before the commission this morning?
Just for notice, the county will be closed Friday and Monday for holidays, just
Yes.
for the general public.
It is Friday and Easter Monday. Any need for exec?
No, I actually gotta go. Carly's up next month, so I think.
I think Carly's here. I know we have a legal conference call here coming up in exec. Personnel also, okay?
So.
Okay, motion by Weiss.
Second.
Second by Denner. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are in
Thank you.
exec. All right, we are back in session, out of exec with no action as a result. Is there anything else to come before the Brown County Commission this morning?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Dinger, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.
Is that yours?